On February 8, 2023, a fire broke out in the quadplex apartment of college student Taylor Brown, situated in Normal, Illinois. Following the incident, both fire officials and police officers from the Normal Police Department arrived at the scene. At the request of the officers, Ms. Brown agreed to be taken to Normal Police Station for questioning. However, after waiting for more than 40 minutes without being interviewed, Ms. Brown asked to be taken back home. The subsequent interaction between Ms. Brown and the officers was recorded by an unknown officer's body camera.
Who are you on your phone with? So we're gonna have to seize your phone, so go ahead and hang up.
Seize my phone for what?
Go ahead and hang up.
Why?
Go ahead and hang up.
They want to seize my phone, but I'm not under arrest for it.
You're not under arrest, but your phone's gonna be seized.
No.
You're gonna hang up the phone.
I seized my phone, but I'm not in custody.
So listen.
There's three of them all around me.
So listen.
FaceTime me for a second.
You listen for a second. So the fire is gonna be under investigation.
That's fine.
Okay, and we're gonna seize your phone.
Why?
Because the fire's under investigation.
I need to know what my.
So you can hand me the phone, or I can take the phone.
But I need to know what my phone's being. They're not telling me a reason why my phone's.
I just did.
But you said it's under investigation, which I.
So listen to me. The fire.
That's her phone.
So the fire is going to be under investigation, and your phone's going to be seized.
The officers informed Ms. Brown that her phone was being seized due to the ongoing investigation of the fire in her apartment. Typically, in compliance with the Fourth Amendment's protection against unreasonable seizures, the government is required to obtain a warrant based on probable cause before legally seizing an individual's personal property, including their cell phone. In this particular situation, it remains unclear what evidence the officers had, if any, to suggest that Ms. Brown's phone contained pertinent information regarding the fire. However, according to a lawsuit filed by Ms. Brown regarding this incident, the officers attempted to secure a search warrant for her phone after its seizure, but the warrant was not approved by the state's attorney.
Hang up the phone and they're going to take the phone, because at this point I'm being threatened.
It's not a threat. I've asked you several times, and you're just going to go back and forth with me.
A reason as to why my phone is being taken.
So the fire is going to be under investigation by the fire department. So stop. Don't interrupt me. So don't interrupt me. The fire is going to be under investigation.
Don't ever tell me not to interrupt you, and I've been this calm.
So the phone's going to be seized. So in a second, I'm going to take it.
I'm asking you. I'm asking you a reason. I'm not being rebuttal. I'm asking you a reason.
So if you would like to talk to the detective, you can. Do you wish to talk to him?
Yeah, but
do you want to get an interview?
No, I wanted to ask him why my phone's being seized, because she said she could take me home, but without my phone. That doesn't make sense.
After law enforcement officers have lawfully obtained a cell phone, the concern of the arrestee potentially deleting incriminating data from the phone is eliminated. However, it is crucial to note that even under these circumstances, the officers are still not permitted to search the contents of the phone without obtaining a warrant, unless a court has explicitly authorized such a search. The officers made an effort to seize Ms. Brown's phone, and when she resisted by pulling away, they responded by forcing her to the ground in an attempt to take the phone from her possession. Using physical force against an individual who poses no verbal or physical threat in an attempt to seize property that is lawfully in their possession would constitute a violation of their constitutional rights. However, if the individual is found to be resisting, officers may be allowed to use reasonable force based on specific circumstances. At the time of the officer's attempt to seize Ms. Brown's phone, she was not under arrest, so any potential charges would likely fall under the obstruction subsection.
Are you going to talk to the detective?
As a matter of fact, are you recording this?
Are you going to talk to the detective and provide an interview? Yes or no?
Is that with or without the phone?
Without the phone. The phone's being seized. Are you talking to the detective or no? I don't know. That's not my question.
I need an answer to that before
So the question is, are you going to provide an interview?
No.
No? Okay. Go ahead and hand me the phone.
I have to know if my phone is being seized.
Go ahead and hand me the phone. Do not kick. Okay, push your legs out. Stop. Relax. Relax.
Mom, I'm not letting go. I promise.
Relax.
Mom, I'm not letting go. I
Relax.
We just want your phone. That's it.
We just want your phone.
They're trying to give me no protection.
Assuming that the officers lack the reasonable suspicion required to seize Ms. Brown's cell phone without a warrant, it's also probable that a court would conclude she could not be convicted of resisting an unauthorized act by a police officer. Once Ms. Brown was placed in handcuffs and helped to stand up, the officers informed her that they would be charging her with resisting an aggravated battery of a police officer. The Appellate Court of Illinois utilized a similar statute that allowed the use of force to prevent unlawful entries into one's dwelling, resulting in the defendant's battery conviction being overturned. The court found that the defendant's actions were based on a reasonable belief that her conduct was necessary to terminate the officer's unlawful entry into her dwelling, and her limited use of force was deemed justified. Applying a similar logic in Miss Brown's case, where she may argue that she used force to protect her personal property, it's conceivable that she could potentially be acquitted of any battery charges brought against her. After her arrest, Miss Brown was taken to McLean County Jail and was subsequently released at approximately 1 p.m. the following day. Interestingly, she was not charged with resisting, battery, or any other offense related to the altercation at the police station or the fire incident at her apartment. The officers returned Miss Brown's phone to her around 3:30 p.m., several hours after her release on February 23, 2023. In response to the incident, Miss Brown filed a federal lawsuit against the unidentified normal officers involved, alleging false arrest, excessive force, failure to intervene, and battery. As of now, the lawsuit's still awaiting resolution. In summary, the normal Illinois officers received a failing grade, as it is highly probable that they seized Miss Brown's phone without the necessary probable cause and also used unnecessary force when she refused to allow them to take her phone without a warrant. Additionally, the arrest of Miss Brown resulted in charges that were eventually found to be baseless. Now let's move to the next and last case of today's video. On February 9, 2023, Ohio Governor Mike DeWine conducted a press conference at an elementary school in East Palestine, Ohio, to provide updates regarding the derailment of a train carrying toxic chemicals. During this time, News Nation correspondent Evan Lambert was in the back of the gymnasium, filming a pre-scheduled live update while Governor DeWine was speaking at the front. Two members of the Ohio State Highway Patrol and the Ohio National Guard's Major General John Harris Jr. approached Mr. Lambert and requested him to halt the broadcast, citing his alleged loudness. The ensuing interaction was captured by the body camera of one of the Highway Patrol troopers, although there is no available audio recording. Despite the absence of sound recording during the initial part of the interaction, the footage reveals an argument between Mr. Lambert and Major General Harris. Subsequently, Major General Harris is seen pushing Mr. Lambert. Following the incident, Mr. Lambert alleges that Major General Harris assaulted him, while Major General Harris claims he felt threatened. However, it is essential to acknowledge that this explanation seems to contradict the body camera footage, which shows Major General Harris as the instigator of the altercation and does not display any physically aggressive behavior from Mr. Lambert. Sheriff Brian McLaughlin of the Columbiana County Sheriff's Office instructs Mr. Lambert to depart from the area. In response, Mr. Lambert clarifies that he is attempting to listen to the press briefing and carry out his job, emphasizing that his actions are protected by the First Amendment.
Go. Let's talk outside. Come on, out the doors. Out the doors. Out the doors.
By other media right here. I'm going to listen.
I don't care. You're going to walk out the door.
I'm going to listen.
You're going to walk
Do
out the door.
not touch me.
Come on out, sir. You're going to walk out the door because you're going to jail.
Do not touch me.
Sir, can we talk outside, please?
I'm trying to
Talk
listen.
outside, please.
And he escalated with me. I am doing my job. This is covered by the First Amendment.
The First Amendment of the United States Constitution explicitly prohibits Congress from creating any laws that would restrict the freedom of the press. Courts have interpreted this clause to safeguard not only the press's right to publish news, but also their right to gather and acquire newsworthy information. In this particular case, the court made a definitive differentiation between the circumstances of that case and the current situation.
Excuse me. Right. Oh, sir.
That's bad. Stop.
I am on the ground.
Stop resisting. Stop. You can't get this.
Resist.
I will stop.
Put your hand on your back. Lay flat, please.
You guys, he's a national correspondent. You cannot do this.
I'm a reporter with News Nation. It's all being recorded right now.
I hope it is.
Excessive force. Because you can't talk to people about doing their jobs.
Oh my God, I cannot believe this.
This is what it's like to be a black reporter in
Evan, I'm so
2023.
sorry. Evan, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Sia.
Pull over, sir.
The court emphasized that the mayor did not withhold access to information that was commonly available to other media representatives or prevent the reporter from participating in press conferences. In this scenario, Mr. Lambert's reporting did not seem to cause any disruption, as Governor DeWine mentioned that he was unaware of the incident, only hearing about the disagreement that occurred after the troopers and Major General Harris approached Mr. Lambert.
You got to record all that.
I did, sir. You want me to shut off?
No, you can keep recording.
Okay.
We just need to make sure that no one else comes in here that's not authorized to come.
Rudeness or disrespect.
Hello.
We've been waiting for.
In his statement, Governor DeWine acknowledged that reporters possess the full right to report during press briefings. Mr. Lambert could assert a compelling argument that his First Amendment rights were infringed upon by being excluded from the press conference, considering that he was merely performing his job as a reporter.
It's the worst possible time in the world, okay? But there's nothing that we can do about that. He's committed to doing his live show. He's got people talking to him.
Upon Mr. Lambert's refusal to leave the press conference, East Palestine Detective Daniel Howder and Columbiana County Chief Deputy Jennifer Tucker notify him of his arrest. Subsequently, when he appears to make a slight attempt to move away from the officers, they take action and force him to the ground before handcuffing him.
Comes over and says,
I don't want you here.
okay.
He still refused to
I
leave.
didn't
So
witness
now
it.
he's arrested.
I didn't witness anything.
That's his own fault he's arrested. All he had to do was type up.
I didn't.
And he just kept on
all
arguing.
I'm telling you is from the television standpoint of
Later in the episode, the matter of whether the officers possess sufficient probable cause to arrest Mr. Lambert will be addressed. If a court were to determine that the arrest was legally justified, there exists the possibility that Mr. Lambert could face a conviction for resisting arrest, even if he were to be acquitted of the trespassing charge. Despite the charges against Mr. Lambert being dropped, no information has been provided regarding any disciplinary measures against the involved officers, including Major General Harris. It remains unclear whether Mr. Lambert or News Nation intends to pursue legal action against any of the parties involved. On the whole, the numerous officers involved receive criticism, as they are likely to have infringed upon Mr. Lambert's First Amendment rights by unjustly excluding him from a public press conference, arresting him for refusing to relinquish those rights, and employing unnecessary force during his arrest and initial disagreement with Major General Harris. On July 20th, 2022, an auditor from the Clear Lake Community Watch, who will be referred to as Mr. Clear Lake, was driving past Deputy C. Vega of the Harris County Sheriff's Office as the deputy was conducting a traffic stop in Seabrook, Texas. Mr. Clear Lake rolled down his window and yelled an anti-police sentiment, including profanity, at Deputy Vega as he drove by. In response to this incident, Deputy Vega abandoned the ongoing traffic stop, got back onto his vehicle, made a U-turn, and began to follow Mr. Clear Lake. Mr. Clear Lake, acting responsibly, properly signaled and made a right turn, prompting Deputy Vega to activate his lights in an attempt to pull him over. In compliance with the signal, Mr. Clear Lake immediately pulled into a nearby gas station and brought his vehicle to a stop.
Why do you pull me over?
I'll tell you that if you roll it down.
Why can't you tell me now?
Because the reason I pulled you over is you were yelling something from your car.
So what?
Huh?
So what? That's why you pull me over, because I'm yelling?
I don't know if you're in need of help or anything.
Oh, I don't need help.
So,
thank you.
Okay, let me see your driver's license real quick.
I don't need help.
Deputy Vega asserted that he stopped Mr. Clear Lake's vehicle due to Mr. Clear Lake's yelling from the window. Nevertheless, Deputy Vega clarified that his primary concern was for Mr. Clear Lake's well-being, rather than taking offense at the content of his speech. It's worth noting that the First Amendment prohibits government officials from engaging in retaliatory measures against individuals for their protected expression. In this situation, it is undeniably evident that Mr. Clear Lake was involved in protected activity, as protected by the Supreme Court's long-standing recognition of profanity as protected speech under the First Amendment. Deputy Vega himself acknowledged that he initiated the traffic stop because of Mr. Clear Lake's yelling from the window. However, it remains uncertain whether a court would conclude that undergoing a traffic stop resulting in a warning without any citation or arrest would be considered an injury that could deter an individual of ordinary resilience from continuing to engage in the same expressive activity. In the 2012 case of Simmons versus City of Mahmoud, it was stated that not all instances of police detention would deter an individual of ordinary resilience from exercising their protected rights.
You can just crack your window if that's what you want to do.
It's already cracked.
I can't see that.
Well,
This thing.
it doesn't matter. Here. I don't wish to answer questions.
You have to let me know if there's a weapon in the car. Did you not take the class?
I did.
Did they tell you you have to tell them?
When you demand identification, I have to display this. That's what they told me in the class. That's what the law
If
says.
the officer wants to take the
And
weapon,
actually, if I don't display, there's really not much you can do because there is no penalty attached to that. I have to carry this if I'm carrying this.
are you carrying?
I don't answer questions.
Okay, so if you have a weapon in the car, then what?
Consequently, there exists the possibility that a court might find Mr. Clear Lake unable to pursue a First Amendment retaliation claim, despite Deputy Vega's evident retaliatory intent when initiating the traffic stop. However, the likelihood is much higher that Mr. Clearlake could succeed in a claim asserting Deputy Vega's violation of his Fourth Amendment rights by initiating the traffic stop without reasonable suspension or probable cause. Mr. Clearlake, who had a holstered firearm on his right hip, presented both his driver's license and his license to carry as requested by Deputy Vega. However, when asked by Deputy Vega about the presence of a handgun in the car, Mr. Clearlake declined to answer. As per Section 46.02 of the Texas Penal Code, it is considered an offense if a person intentionally, knowingly, or recklessly carries a handgun in a motor vehicle in plain view, except if the person is 21 years of age or older or possesses a valid handgun carry license and the handgun is properly holstered.
What is your name? Your name? Sheriff, that's your name? Sheriff?
Right above it, right there.
I'm not familiar with the English alphabet, sir.
Be on the ticket.
Okay, can I have an incident number, please? Oh, a ticket, okay.
When Deputy Vega asked for identification, Mr. Clearlake adhered to the statute's requirements, and it was not necessary for him to respond to any further inquiries from Deputy Vega concerning the potential presence of a handgun in the vehicle. Policy 302 of the Harris County Sheriff's Department Handbook establishes guidelines for what is considered professional conduct among deputies and other HCSO employees. This policy imposes an obligation on them to provide official identification when required. Upon Deputy Vega's notification that the traffic stop had concluded, he directed Mr. Clearlake to remain inside his vehicle. Although Mr. Clearlake opened the door, he showed no signs of attempting to exit. As a response to this action, Deputy Vega drew his weapon.
Did I exit the vehicle? Did I exit the vehicle?
Give you a heads up.
Did I exit the vehicle? Hey, can I? You do have a dashcam, right? Very good. You can't just pull me over because I said the police. I hope you realize that, stupid. I'm sorry?
Do you have insurance on the vehicle?
Yeah.
Can you show it to me, please? It doesn't come back.
Of course it comes back.
Not on my system, it doesn't. Also, it's not typical behavior.
According to the policy, deputies can ready their weapons when approaching potentially dangerous situations, but displaying or pointing firearms in a threatening manner is only permitted when objectively reasonable. Deputy Vega's actions removing the firearm when Mr. Clearlake opened the vehicle door might be justified due to potential concerns.
Did you read my address on the driver license?
It didn't have an address. It didn't have an apartment number on your driver's
Of course it does.
Let me see. Can you verify?
You've already seen it. I've already complied with that part.
I know. Okay, I'll be right back. And I say that I've never met anybody quite like you that would yell at an officer doing their job. But
So,
you have a great
let
day.
me
There's no
understand.
warning, no fines, no penalties.
May I ask you a question?
This question's on there. There's the address.
Yeah,
There's
no, I
the,
have a
there's
question.
an incident
Can you
number
get your
on the thing right
supervisor here, please?
No,
Is the stop over?
the stop is over. You may leave.
All right.
Please don't exit until I get out. Until I leave.
Well, you said the stop is over, right?
There is no indication that Mr. Clearlake had received any materials from the public records request. Additionally, he has expressed his intention to file a complaint and a lawsuit.
For what? Failed to signal with turn indicator within 100 feet. Threw the weapon on me. He drew the gun.
In conclusion, Deputy Vega's actions are heavily criticized, earning him an F grade for retaliating against Mr. Clearlake, who is exercising his First Amendment rights. The initiation of a traffic stop without reasonable suspicion and unnecessary brandishing of his firearm are the specific reasons for this criticism. Now, moving to the next one.
Law enforcement agencies serve as the guardians of justice, entrusted with protecting the innocent and maintaining order in society. Despite the good intentions of protecting the law, a shadowy underbelly appears, a hidden world populated by people who violate their pledge and dishonor the badge they wear. These dirty cops seriously jeopardize the foundation of a just and equitable society. What do you think should be the punishment for dirty cops? Watch the video to find out the shameful crimes these officers committed. The first incident is where Atlanta police fired one of their own and then released the officer's body camera footage, allegedly showing her mishandling $500 in cash from a homicide victim's wallet, officials said. Officer Keisha Richburg's body cam footage, released by the Atlanta Police Department, shows the alleged incident unfolding at the scene of a shooting on Marietta Road near the Inman Rail Yard. And Nur Green, 43, was arrested and booked for murder after he allegedly shot Harris in the head because of an argument, police said. Officer Keisha Richburg was at the scene of a shooting in northwest Atlanta when an EMT handed her the wallet of shooting victim Jamel Harris, 29, who later died at the hospital, authorities said. Body cam video showed the EMT, Kevin Getter, tucking cash into the wallet's fold and not into the main compartment where cash is usually placed, according to footage posted by the Atlanta Police Department on its YouTube channel. When she handles the wallet in her squad car, the cash cannot be seen in the slot where Gator allegedly had placed the money, the video shows. When Officer Richburg transfers the victim's wallet from her right hand to her left hand, it is readily apparent the money is no longer tucked inside the wallet. A police report on the incident reads, Getter confirmed to internal affairs investigators that he gave Richburg the wallet with cash inside. I'm about 90 sure it was money, because it was kind of like like money would be folded in half. And I can't imagine it being anything else, he said. Later in the video, Richburg is shown surrendering the wallet to another police officer at Grady Memorial Hospital. Tevin Gator told investigators the money was handed over by a bystander who told him the cash belonged to the victim. I shouldn't have been messing with it because it was a crime scene, but it was just habit from not leaving patients' monies and stuff. So I just picked it up and then realized what I did. So I handed it off to the officer, Getter told internal affairs investigators. Witness Leilani Collier said that she turned in the money to police after finding his wallet and informed Harris' wife of the cash. However, police allegedly told Harris' wife, who was pregnant with the couple's second child, that there was no money in the wallet. An Atlanta Police Department spokesperson said that Richburg did not properly account for the money according to the department's policies and procedures, and Atlanta Police Chief Erica Shields fired Richburg. Officer integrity goes to the heart of what we do here every single day, Shields said in a statement. It's imperative the public have trust in our word and our actions. It's extremely disappointing to see the victim of a fatal shooting be victimized twice by the actions of one of our officers. But the Atlanta's police union disputes the department's claim and said Richburg is now in the appeals process that she hopes will reverse her termination. She didn't know money was in there, Vincent Champion, regional director for the International Brotherhood of Police Officers, told NBC News. The union rep insisted the video footage released by the department is inconclusive at best. They haven't proven that she had the money or took the money, Champion said. We don't feel the officer did that. Do you think Richburg is innocent or guilty? Let us know in the comments. The next incident is proof that social media is becoming a menace. TikTok user and police officer Brianna Strauss left netizens disappointed in the police force after speaking about her privileges. In a video, Strauss was seen reminding viewers that she can speed without getting in trouble. She also said that officers can find a reason to pull drivers over if they stay in front of them long enough. The video has led to a lengthy debate about police officers' entitlement, with people taking to Twitter to call her out. Brianna Strauss works with the Federal Way Police Department in Washington State. In the now viral video, she told viewers that the police are above and beyond the law and do not have the same rules as the citizen. This has led netizens to believe that Strauss was abusing her power after she became an authoritarian figure. If we're driving on the freeway in our police car, get the fuck out of our way. Get the fuck out of the way. If you merge and we follow behind you, and we merge too, you're probably in trouble. Best way to find that out is to get the fuck out of the way. I can go 90 miles an hour. You can't. You can't do that. So get the fuck out of the way. If us officers stay behind you long enough, we can find a reason to pull you over, so you might as well get the fuck kick out of the way. The video, which has garnered massive traction on social media, has since been deleted from Brianna Strauss's profile. However, netizens were quick to screen record the video. The video found its way to Twitter as well, where it amassed over 3.5 million views and more than 52.7 thousand likes. Netizens were not pleased to hear the officer's comments, and many were disgusted by her tone and autarkic demeanor. Several internet reasons stated that her behavior of looking untouchable was a reason why they did not believe in the police system. The officer went on to receive a 10-hour suspension, which would mark it as one shift without pay. Additionally, when people learnt of Strauss's suspension of only 10 hours, they were left furious. Many called for the officer to be fired instead of being suspended for such a short duration of time. The Federal Way Police Department conducted an investigation into the video and looked into possible violations of standards. They also looked into the officer's previous disciplinary issues. Commander Kurt Schwann from Federal Way that the police officer did not have previous disciplinary issues. They went on to determine that Strauss broke the department's code of conduct when it came to their social media and personal conduct. Do you think that punishment was enough for the arrogant police officer? The next incident is of a Florida deputy who was caught for drunken driving. According to online booking records maintained by the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office, Shelby Elise Coniglio, 26, was charged with 1 count of operating a vehicle while intoxicated with a blood alcohol content of 0.15 or more. Florida law presumes someone is too impaired to drive at 0.8. Coniglio served as a constable in the Patrol Operations Department for the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office from September 10, 2018. According to a press release from the Sheriff's Office, St. Petersburg Police stopped Coniglio about 1:37 a.m. at 108th Avenue North and 4th Street North in St. Petersburg. Police said Coniglio showed signs of impairment through slurred speech, bloodshot eyes, and she also struggled to remain steady on her feet, officers noted. Police also said she had an odor of alcohol on her breath. Officers said that Coniglio agreed to perform field sobriety tests, but performed poorly on them, and that she submitted to a breath sample, which indicated she had a blood alcohol concentration above the legal limit. Officers said Coniglio submitted a breath sample that indicated she had a breath alcohol content level of 206-219, according to the Sheriff's Office. Her blood alcohol level was also higher than the state limit of 0.8. Coniglio was arrested and booked into the Pinellas County Jail and was released on her own recognizance. However, per the Sheriff's Office policy, Coniglio's employment was immediately terminated following the arrest. What do you think is the best way to protect citizens from dirty cops like this? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe